Growing up, I had a really incredible childhood, but there was something about my environment, landlocked in Georgia, that made me feel constricted. I did not feel like I belonged there. I remember I felt overwhelmed by my family, and I felt very out of place. I longed for some sense of my own freedom.
My name is Jonah Allen. I'm a photographic artist. For the last 15 years, I've kind of built my life around being in the ocean. I live very close to the ocean. I'm in the water every day making artwork, or whether it's surfing. And I really genuinely love the place I'm in. My gallery is within walking distance of my house as well as the ocean. But it wasn't always this way. I wasn't always fulfilled by what I get to do every day. We're on vacation in the Gulf of Mexico in Florida. They bought me a surf lesson with a surf school and had never done it before. I was probably like 12 or 13 years old, had no idea what to expect. And I remember the instructor pushed me into a wave and I was just in a state of bliss. I was so focused in the present moment. It was so incredible. And I remember I rode the wave all the way into the shore and I didn't even like step off because I was just so present. And I actually ran into the sand and I fell. And that single moment completely changed the trajectory of my life because I had never been introduced to surfing or never introduced to that feeling. After that moment, I just wanted to be in the water all the time. Every time I got the chance to be near the ocean, I was just in the water nonstop. A couple years later, I was in Florida again, and I had a friend down there. He'd been given an underwater camera for Christmas. And I kind of stole it from him with his permission. He wasn't really interested in it. So I took it underwater and I started making images of the ocean. And for me at that time, gave me that similar feeling to surfing because I was immersed in nature. I was connected to the source. I just became obsessed with not just surfing, but that feeling of being in the ocean. And those two different events at different times kind of became catalyst for me to build my life around being in the ocean. Growing up, after that moment, I just felt kind of disconnected. And I also didn't feel understood. Nobody could relate to me because I had this passion that I still have today, this fiery passion, and I just did not feel understood. While I was in university, I was selling art at little markets with so much failure, but I saved up enough money to be able to travel a little bit. So after university, I took off for an entire year just chasing waves. I went all around the world. I went to Hawaii, I went to Indonesia, I went to Europe, I went literally almost every continent chasing waves. I ended up moving back down to Florida, which is for the first time I moved there, and that's the place where I caught my first wave. One of my biggest values that I chase, especially through my work and by surfing, is all centered around this freedom that I feel. I put myself in these places consistently, in these fleeting moments that only last for a couple seconds or even minutes, because I'm able to transport people to that same place I was in. The artwork has almost become a window into this place of freedom. When people walk in my gallery, they get to experience the art, and I want them to feel some sort of calming emotion similar to the state I was in when I made that image. It's really all about just that state and changing their emotional state. I don't really think that you can't really get people to care about things unless they experience it firsthand. So if my images can go inspire someone to go out into the ocean, to feel what it feels like to be in the ocean, then they might just care about the future of it.